I leave nothing selected. So it still performs the tool operation, but the selection is empty at the end. If I hold down the control key, I hide the original selection. So you can think of this as a move. Right, I'm holding down the control key as I do this. And there are combinations that work too. So I can hold control and I move it and leave it unselected, so that now as I hit the tool again, nothing's happening because nothing's selected. So let me give you a use case for that last one. Control Option is one that I actually use quite a bit. So I'm going to undo and just go back to a central ball. Notice that undo does not destroy my tools. This is a recent change, but these tools are still functional, even though I've gone back in time, back in the history, past when they were created. So they're sticky.
Okay.
So by way of explanation, let me show you some fun with the polytopes.
This is the part I am interested in.
Okay.
Great.
So these are basically generators built in to generate the different families of uniform, or I don't know quite the right terminology, from the different 4D symmetry groups. I don't have all of the 4D symmetry groups represented. I think there are two more, C4 and D4. But my favorite, of course, is the H4s, which is sort of hyper-icosahedral. These numbers, 0, 0, 0, 0, the 4 bits, they're trying to represent what's called the Wythoff symbol, which is a marked Coxeter-Dinkin diagram. And that simply refers to which, I don't think I can even say the right answer. It basically encodes which mirrors in the Coxeter group the vertex is not on, something like that. You might want to read it. It'll make sense if you look at the Coxeter book, Regular Polytopes. I just think of them as an index, and I know, for instance, that the first one is the 600 cell, right, which is or hypericosahedron, and the 8th one is the hyperdodecahedron, or the 120 cell, right, which is my favorite. Okay, and the various others, whenever there's more than one bit set, then there's some sort of truncation or cantillation or I forget the runcination. I think there's various terms. Something is going on. This is a very, very big model, the 1111 or F. I'm sure you've noticed that the letters are just the hexadecimal equivalent of the numbers. So this is pretty big. I wouldn't try that unless you've asked me to set your license up to 2 gigabytes of memory. But you get some very nice. I forget which ones are the nicest ones, but vZome can handle some pretty big ones with the default of 1 gigabyte, or sorry, 1 gigabyte of RAM. So that's already a pretty big model, and it's rotating very slowly. If you can see, I don't know what the refresh rate is for the video. If you want to work with big models, it's probably a good idea to change to the tiny connectors to change the shapes. I don't know if you've played with this. But it's reducing the number of polygons that have to be drawn. So it'll take a second for it to take effect. But once it does, then I can get much better frame rates. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. So let's go back. I'm going to create, again, the 120 cell.